When I was in the Mexican army, there was a mission that honestly still weighs on me when I remember it. It wasn't a shootout or an ambush, but it was one of those things that remind you the streets don't forgive anyone. We were on an operation in a town I'd rather not name, but you know how it is. Dusty, narrow streets, skinny dogs, and people fighting for their daily bread. It was an area where the gang had eyes on every corner, and we were patrolling in a beat-up Cheyenne with the chassis rattling like an old noisemaker. That day I was with my squad, and up front was Corporal Medina. Medina was one of those guys who looked angry, even when he was sleeping, but he was a good leader, grumpy, blunt, but fair. When he scolded you, he did it for your own good. We were out on patrol when we got a call. Report of a suspicious vehicle circling around an elementary school. And do you know what that means? They're either selling, watching, or kidnapping. And that day there were kids, mothers, teachers, innocent people. We got there quickly, and from the corner we saw the truck, a brown face, tinted windows. Those that you just see and, okay, there's trouble here. The commander tells us over the radio, "All right, guys, stay calm, but be brave." We got out in formation, each one covering a sector, and I was shaking a little. I'm not going to deny it. On television, everything looks cool, but in person, holding the rifle and not knowing who's behind the glass, it's different. That's when everything changes. As we approached, the caravan slowly moved forward, as if trying not to raise much dust. Corporal Medina stands in front, weapon drawn, shouting, "Turn off the engine, bastard!" But the truck tried to run him over. Medina managed to hit the windshield with the butt of his rifle, and the glass cracked from side to side. Finally, the driver stopped. We opened the door, and surprised, it was a man in his 50s, nervous, sweating like a pig. But the coolest thing, behind him, two kids around 19 or 20 shook, clearly thinking, we're screwed. We got them out, took them to the wall, and searched them. And bam! In one of their backpacks, there was a .38 pistol, all old but loaded. We were ready to tie them up when the man starts crying and saying, "Don't kill them, please, they're my sons. I'm just taking them because they forced me to. I don't want any trouble." I wondered, what should I do? Believe him or not? Because on the street, everyone cries once you've caught them. The commander arrives, checks the gun, and asks, "Who do you work for?" The kids just lower their heads. They couldn't even lie. One cried, and the other looked ready to vomit. And Medina, who was really tough about those things, just looked at them, and his expression changed. He says, "What's up, kids? Really? You want to end up like this? You have your dad working as a driver? What are you thinking?" And then one of them breaks down and says, "It's just that they told us if we didn't go, they were going to take my dad." Silence. We all went silent. And that's when the street hits you hard, because you come thinking you're only going to run into hitmen, but you also find people who are there because they have no other choice. The commander asked for backup. We filed a report, secured the weapon, the vehicle, the whole deal. While we waited, the man kept repeating, "I just wanted to protect them. I just wanted them back alive." I never learned what happened to them. We followed protocol and continued patrolling. But when we got into the Cheyenne, Corporal Medina, that stone-cold hard guy, just leaned back and said quietly, "This war is drawing the wrong people." I'd never heard him talk like that before. From that day on, I understood that not everything on the other side of the gun is bad. Sometimes it's just people who are trapped, like many of us have been. I'm going to share something I experienced in the Army. Believe it or not, I don't care. I was there. I joined the Army properly. Kid, 19 years old. I was skinny, nervous, and thought that military life was just training and working out. But no, man, you learn the hard way. And I'm not talking about physical blows, I'm talking about mental blows. What I'm about to share happened in Tamaulipas in 2014. I won't specify the city, but you can guess which areas were dangerous then. My squad was small, an old corporal called Cholo, a sergeant who rarely smiled, and young guys like me just trying not to mess up. That day they sent us to check out a report. about a suspicious truck. For us, that could mean nothing, or it could be a whole convoy. That's how it goes. You never know what'll happen. I was riding shotgun in the Cheyenne when Cholo told me, "Kid, today you'll learn to watch without asking." I wasn't sure if he was scolding or preparing me, so I stayed quiet. When we got to the spot, we didn't see a truck, but we did see smoke coming out of a little path. Sergeant said we should get out. We walked about 40 meters through the brush, and there was a white truck all messed up with the doors open. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was seeing how the people around were. There were 4 people, 2 with their hands tied, a kid lying face down, and another one leaning against the truck, breathing really weird, like he was swallowing his own teeth. The scene looked so fresh that it seemed like it was still happening. The guy was slumped over. He saw us arrive, and the first thing he did was ask for water. Not for help, for water. I was stunned. I had never seen someone so screwed up ask for something so simple. Cholo bent down and asked him, "Who brought you here?" The kid just shook his head like saying, "I don't know anything." But one of the tied-up guys did speak. It was the others, the ones from the ranch over there, that's all, because they thought we were talking to the soldiers. I'm not lying, man, they were blood brothers. They had been taken because one of them had an old photo where he appeared with a cousin who had enlisted. Just for that, that's when I felt something really messed up in my chest, like realizing that the line between a civilian and a target, between guilty and innocent, doesn't exist over there. It's a coin toss. Sergeant requested reinforcements, we secured the area, and the protocol began. But me, I was just looking at the kid, that one slumped over, barely breathing, holding his stomach. And the only thing he said before they took him away was, "My mom doesn't know I'm here. Can you let her know?" That messed me up because we didn't even know his name and he couldn't say anything else. Patrol cars and ambulances soon arrived from all directions, flooding the area with lights and blaring radios. We just stepped aside and kept watch as if we hadn't seen anything. On the way back, nobody talked. No jokes, no teasing, no music, nothing. Only Cholo looked at me and said, "Did you see that kid? Here, people aren't killed for what they do, but because someone thinks they did something." Since that day, I swear, hearing people say, "Keith, why don't they just leave?" makes me so mad, because no one over there is safe from anything. Not the bad guys, not the good guys, not even the ones who were just passing by. When I was in the Navy, there was one mission that stuck with me forever. And it wasn't a big confrontation or anything like that. It was something really damn old at first, but it ended up being a mess that I still have trouble understanding. We were deployed in a small town, I won't say which one, but dirt roads, bars, every 3 blocks, and lookouts even in the damn trees. We were a team of 8 in a Cheyenne, and from the moment we left the base, we already had a kid following us on a motorcycle. And the craziest part, the guy was really drunk, I'm not lying. You could see him wobbling on the motorcycle, helmet on wrong, phone to his ear, still trying to act tough. Every turn we took, he was right behind us. Every street we went down, he was standing there. Every little store we passed by, the guy would show up until my commander got fed up.
"Get rid of him because this kid is going to get us in trouble," and
the driver just said,
"Understood, my commander."
And Bolas hit him with the Cheyenne on a narrow street. Not to kill him, but just to knock him down. The kid flew like a tortilla in the air and landed on his side. The motorcycle was smashed to pieces against a wall. We got out, and as we ran toward him, another lookout came out, just as drunk, just as stupid, but this one ran properly. We caught the first one immediately, and as soon as we pinned him, he started crying like we'd hit him with a brick.
Don't kill me, I just warn people.
We hadn't spoken, but he was already revealing everything. The second lookout ran for his life. We followed him through streets, yards, and fences until he entered a house that seemed strange. I can't explain it, but it felt different. There were no dogs, no people, no noise. The commander gathered us.
"That place smells like a safe house. Do we bust in or not?"
Nobody said anything. We just looked at each other and already knew the answer. We had a sledgehammer in the truck bed, like those used to break down doors in operations. The corporal took it and said, "Here we go, damn it." The first hit knocked it down with a single blow. We entered room by room in formation, and that's when it hit us. What the hell were these lousy lookouts carrying? The first room was full of weapons, really full, man. New rifles, old ones, boxes of ammo stacked to the ceiling, everything arranged like it was a store. It was a complete arsenal. And then we got to the last room, a room that went down like a basement. And that's where everything changed completely. There were people chained up, 11 or 12, I don't know. I lost count. I saw wide eyes, frightened and confused. One was so skinny I thought he was drowned. Another had tape over his mouth and his hands were purple from how tight the handcuffs were. That smell, that silence, that look of, "Get me out of here." They don't prepare you for that, do they? At that moment, it wasn't an operation. I wasn't Hal Compedo, and it wasn't a game. This was real. The commander just said,
"Secure everything, get out those who can walk. This
is no longer an operation. This is a rescue." While we were bringing the civilians up, I looked one last time at the second floor terrace. There was the scout who went in first. The kid was looking down from above, shaking, his face completely gone. He didn't even run when we brought him up to the Cheyenne. I think he already knew what was in that house. I think he already knew his luck ran out that day. What I can tell you is this. When we went into that room, the basement, there was no silence. There was no strange smell. There was none of that crap they talk about on the internet. There were living people chained up, scared, like animals. As soon as they saw us come in, they didn't ask for help. They begged us not to leave them. The lookout we caught upstairs didn't say a word. He just cried, standing in the corner, shaking. He didn't move or even look around. I think he already knew what was downstairs. That day, I didn't think about organized crime or the lookouts or the last letter. That day, I only thought about something that hit me harder than any bullet. If we didn't bust into that damn house, those people would have stayed there. Since then, whenever I see a kid on a motorcycle with a black helmet or hoodie, I don't wonder if he's a lookout. But where? Damn, where could the house he's watching be? Because behind one of those kids, there's always something more than just a lookout hiding. And honestly, after what I saw in that basement, I never looked at a closed house the same way again.